In this short video, we're going to continue looking at some balanced equations, or learning how to balance equations. An important rule is never assume an equation's balanced, so always inspect them before you do anything with them. Here we have a sodium on the left and the right of the arrow, so that's balanced, but we have only one Cl here and we have two Cl's over here. We also notice we have two F's over here. So I can always, to balance this Cl with that Cl, I could always add a coefficient 2 here. So now I've got 2Cl to match this 2Cl, but the number 2 also multiplies the sodium. So I'd have to put a 2 here, so I now have 2 sodium on each side. This 2 multiplies the fluorine, which is okay because I also have 2 fluorine over here. So right now this is balanced. In this equation I have a carbon on either side. I have 4 hydrogen on the left. I only have 2 on the right, so I would put a coefficient 2 here. So now I have 4 hydrogen on either side. But this 2 now multiplies the oxygen, so I have 2 oxygen here plus 2 here. I have 4 oxygen, so I would have to put a coefficient 2 here. This 2 multiplies this 2, and I now have 4 oxygen on both sides. So this equation is now balanced. Here I have an iron atom as a reactant, an iron atom as a product. I notice I have 3 Cl's on the left. I only have 1 on the right. So I could put a coefficient 3 here. So 3 Cl's as reactants and products, that balances. This 3 multiplies the sodium, so I'd have to come back and put a 3 here. So I now have 3 sodium on either side. This 3 also multiplies OH, but that's fine because I have 3 OH as a product over here. And that looks balanced also. What we're doing here when we balance equations, these numbers, and if you don't have a number, we assume it's 1. These numbers are moles. So we would say this chemical equation, 2 moles of sodium chloride plus 1 mole of fluorine produces 2 moles of sodium fluoride and 1 mole of chlorine. So we talk about mole ratios. You could say this is a 1 to 2 to 1 to 2, where these are mole ratios. Okay, so we have mole ratios. We'll see in a second that a mole is equal to Na, where Na is Avogadro's number. And Na is equal to 6.022 by 10 to the 23rd. So I could say I have 2 multiples of Avogadro's number of sodium chloride plus 1 multiple of Avogadro's number of fluorine produces 2 multiples of Avogadro's number of sodium fluoride and 1 multiple of Avogadro's number of chlorine. So we're going to start to introduce multiple ways of counting during chemical equations.